3 armies, 1 nuclear power, nearly 1.4 million active soldiers, over 3,400 aircraft, more than 6,000 tanks, and a promise that if anyone attacks one of them, they attack all 3. This is the Mecca Joint Defense Agreement, signed on August 7, 2026, between Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey. Some analysts are already calling it the birth of a Muslim NATO. In this video, we break down exactly what each country gets out of this pact, and which nations could join next. The agreement was signed in the holy city of Mecca by Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. Its core clause mirrors NATO's famous Article 5. An armed attack on any one of the 3 countries will be treated as an attack against all of them. It builds on an earlier deal, the Strategic Mutual Defense Agreement signed between just Pakistan and Saudi Arabia back in September 2025. Turkey then joined less than a year later, turning a bilateral pact into a trilateral alliance. The timing matters. This came together as the Iran conflict threatened to reignite, after Houthi attacks from Yemen, and after Gulf states started openly questioning whether the United States would really show up as their security guarantor. Saudi Arabia brings the money. It's the world's top oil exporter, and it's hosting and financing much of this new architecture. But what does Riyadh gain? Deterrence beyond the U.S. umbrella. After doubts about how reliable American protection really is, Saudi Arabia now has 2 more powerful allies bound by treaty. Access to Pakistan's nuclear deterrent. Pakistan is the only Muslim-majority nuclear power. That changes the entire threat calculation for anyone considering an attack on Saudi soil. Access to Turkish drone and defense industry technology. Turkey's combat drones have already proven themselves in real conflicts. Regional leadership. By hosting the signing in Mecca, Saudi Arabia positions itself as a convening power of the Muslim world at a moment when Iran and other regional heavyweights look weaker. Pakistan brings battlefield experience and its nuclear arsenal, arguably becoming the single most valuable military partner in the entire pact. In return, Pakistan gains deep Saudi financial backing. This is critical for an economy that regularly needs support from Gulf partners. A formal security guarantee from 2 wealthy, influential states, boosting Pakistan's standing against regional rivals. Greater diplomatic weight on the world stage. Pakistan goes from a country often overlooked in Middle Eastern politics to a central pillar of a new regional security bloc. Deeper defense industrial cooperation with Turkey, building on decades of exchanging warships and training aircraft between the 2 countries. Turkey enters as NATO's 2nd largest army, but with growing uncertainty about the U.S. commitment to NATO itself. For Ankara, this pact offers a hedge outside of NATO. If Washington's commitment ever wavers, Turkey now has an independent security network in the Muslim world. Expanded markets for its defense industry, especially drones and munitions, to 2 wealthy, security-hungry partners. Greater regional influence, positioning Turkey as a leading power broker across the Middle East and South Asia simultaneously. Deeper economic ties with Saudi Arabia, building on existing weapons deals, including Riyadh's 2023 agreement to buy Turkish-made drones. This is where it gets interesting, because officials from inside the pact have openly said they want to expand it. Egypt is the most talked-about candidate. Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan called Egypt a natural partner and said he expects Cairo to join once technical issues are resolved. Egypt already works closely with all 3 countries through a consultation group called the R4. But Egypt has real hesitations. It doesn't want to jeopardize its long-standing aid relationship with Washington. It doesn't want to be pulled into disputes involving Israel or Turkey's rivalries in Libya and the Eastern Mediterranean. It wants the freedom to decide, case by case, whether to get involved in someone else's war. Beyond Egypt, several Gulf states are being floated. Qatar, seen by analysts as the most natural next member, especially after Israel's strike in Doha in September 2025, left Doha feeling exposed. Kuwait, another Gulf state seen as eager for extra protection. The former Qatari Prime Minister has even called for the entire Gulf Cooperation Council, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, and the UAE, to eventually join. Further afield, analysts have also named Azerbaijan, Syria, Jordan, as countries that could plausibly join relatively quickly. Not quite, at least not yet. Analysts caution this is currently a framework for closer strategic and defense industrial coordination, not yet a fully binding mutual defense treaty on the scale of NATO. The exact details of what military support each country would actually provide in a crisis still haven't been worked out. Turkish officials insist the pact isn't aimed at any one country, including Iran. Still, the timing, right after the Israel-Iran war and Israel's strike inside Qatar, has led many observers to see this as a direct response to growing insecurity about Israeli and Iranian actions in the region. So, three of the most powerful militaries in the Muslim world, bound by one promise: attack one, and you're at war with all three. Whether this becomes a true Muslim NATO or stays a loose coalition depends on who joins next and how the founding three respond the first time they're actually tested. If you want to see the full military strength comparison between these three countries, check out next video. And subscribe for more deep dives into the wars and alliances